All right, how's everyone doing? Happy Sunday, 9 p.m., and we are live. And let's see, today we're going to talk about just exercise and how that improves our lives. So I guess in a way, this is a topic that just comes to my mind because let's see, I've been doing a lot more exercising lately compared to I would say earlier this year. So again, I always got to kind of give a little bit of context. So earlier this year in 2017, I was very depressed, sad, and I didn't have any motivation to exercise. And I would say in this past month, I have been able to pick it up a little bit more, and I've been able to slowly find that a little bit of motivation to exercise to the point right now I'm exercising every single day. And I'll kind of share with you how I got to this point. But as the topic states, I want to talk about how exercise improves our lives. How does exercise make us more happy? How does it make us whatever, give us more energy, all that kind of stuff. One thing I want to mention is that, again, I'm just going to say I'm not an expert in exercise. I'm not an expert in health and fitness. I'm just a regular guy. And all I'm doing right here is I'm creating conversation so we could just improve our lives. You know, there's a ton of other experts out there who focus on exercise, and I'm going to leave it up to them to to share all the detailed information. My only goal here is to just provide a platform to have positive conversations about things, life, things like that. So, as many of you know, this community is all about building up our self-esteem. It's about being more confident and, you know, being able to communicate better with people, you know, not be so nervous, and just have more confidence in ourselves. Because at the end of the day, I don't feel like life is worth living if we're always struggling with, you know, with these challenges and these insecurities that we have. And I think it's really important that we take the time to improve ourselves so we can be happy and healthy. So my focus has always been a lot more on the mental, the emotional, I was going to say spiritual, but a little bit on that. And I don't really talk about health a lot, but today we're going to talk a little bit more about health. So, goodness. Where do we start here? So I'll start with a cool little thing that happened today, which was I went out for a 60-minute run, which is not very usual for me to do. I've created the story that I hate running. I've created the story that running is exhausting, it's boring, all these different things. But today I was inspired by this girl that I'm dating. Her name is Christine, and like, one day she's like, hey, I'm going to go for a 60-minute run. I'm like, what? That's crazy. I mean, I've done 60-minute runs before, but that was like 3 years ago. It's not something I've done in the past few years. And I never thought I would actually do it. But then this morning, I was kind of, I guess I just woke up in the morning. I was like, shoot, I didn't exercise yesterday, which was the first time in like a month I didn't exercise. So I broke my own commitment. So I said, today I'm going to do a quote-unquote double workout, which is usually my workouts are 30 minutes. So I'm like, I'm just going to double it, make it an hour. So today I did a hour run, and just to make it more quote-unquote time efficient, I also decided, hey, if I'm going to run, let's do something productive while running, because it takes an hour. So I decided to watch a 1 hour podcast, like a self-help podcast with Lewis Howes and Mel Robbins. And that was really fulfilling to do two productive things at the same time. So if you're joining in, feel free to say hello so I know who's on. I would appreciate that. Yeah, and I guess before I continue, one thing I just want to discuss is that I'm trying to get started again with creating content, a lot more Facebook Lives, YouTube Lives, whatever you want to call them, and just produce, connect, give. And like, for me, it's kind of weird because I know that I stopped producing content. So I've actually lost a lot of, like, whatever you want to say, followers or things like that in this year, 2017. And I'm looking forward to continuing to build more content, probably even more content than before. And I hope to kind of regain those conversations. And yeah, because I get it. It's like, I feel kind of bad. I feel kind of bad that, how do I say this? I feel bad that I took a much needed personal break for myself. I feel bad because I think a lot of times, all of you, or people, I'm going to say people in general, a lot of the people in this community are kind of like looking forward to seeing my videos and things like that. And then I just all of a sudden dropped the ball and stopped posting because I got into this little funk, depression, all this kind of stuff. And for many parts of it, I tried pushing through and creating content. But in this past few months or whatever, this year, I just decided, you know what, I just need to take a break. And that's what I did. And now that I'm feeling better, I'm back and looking forward to producing more content. So yeah, that's what we have. I'm going to read comments. I love reading comments, by the way. It's such a great way to connect, and it makes the conversation so much real. So Kathy says, hey, I kind of relate. During the beginning of the year, I got into running again, but over the past few months, I let myself go, and I'm trying to get back into running again. And then Rico Salas says, I hurt my ankle, and I needed to stop for a bit. Cool. That's so cool to see. I mean, both of you, it seems like both of you are engaged in exercise to some extent, which is amazing. Man, so I'm going to speak from my own personal experiences. Every single one of us have a different kind of story or a place we are in our lives. Some of us, exercise is a whatever you want to call it, a daily or a normal, regular habit of ours. While other of us, exercise is not a regular habit of ours. And it's just, we're busy doing other things and we just don't prioritize exercising. So coming from someone who I would say exercise has predominantly not been a dominant habit of mine. It's one of those like forced habits. Like I gotta push myself to do it. Otherwise I just will not do it. I could very easily get lazy. Coming from someone like that, what I'll say is exercising this past month has been, it's been a gift. Like, how do I say this? It's been balancing all the unhealthy food I've been eating up until now. I say up until now because I'm actually eating very, very clean, like starting yesterday. And then since I got back from my trip. So, and in 2 days, I'm doing this 7-day vegan challenge with the girl I'm dating. And I'm just looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to being able to, how do I say this? Being able to experiment with what it's going to be like eating healthier. One thing that I've been struggling with besides eating healthy and exercising, all that stuff, is energy. Like I can't believe how tired I've been this past week. I don't know why. I haven't figured out why, but it's like I've been so unproductive this past week because I've been so tired. Like literally, I wake up. Oh, by the way, my sleep schedule has been super off, probably because I've been traveling a lot too. And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm so sleepy. But like literally, I woke up at like 10 a.m. or 10 a.m., which is super late for me. Like I prefer to wake up at like 5 or 6 a.m. But anyway, I woke up at 10 a.m. And by the time I kind of figured out, what am I doing today? I got to go to the gym, blah, blah, blah. Like my day felt like it was already gone. So right now is 9 p.m. here in Orange County, California, Southern California. And I just feel like, it was part productive, but honestly, I don't feel like I accomplished very much today. So yeah, I mean, I've been awake for 11 hours. The productive things I did was go get healthy food, groceries. And then I went to the gym, ran for an hour, showered, all that kind of stuff. What else? I went to my friend's leadership graduation that took like a good, we'll call it 3 hours total, including commute time. So I've had a filled day, but now it's 9 p.m. We're doing this. I got to talk about exercise and health. And then right after this, it's probably going to be around 10 p.m. for me. And I want to go to sleep by, I think 11 is pretty unrealistic. I want to go sleep by midnight. So that way I can reset my sleep cycle again. So yeah, that's going to be tough because that means I only have 2 more hours after this to reset myself and be productive, get work done. Oh, goodness, life. All right, so let's go back to exercise and how exercise improves our lives. I'll just talk from my own personal experience. When it comes to exercise, for me, exercising every day has given me a lot more. It's given me a lot more confidence. It's given me a lot more. I'm just gonna go with confidence. I'm pretty sure exercise has been helping me a lot with my whatever physical body, and I don't know. It's just how do I say it? The mental discipline of exercising every day just makes me feel good. The fact that I could follow a habit or follow a commitment just tells my brain it allows myself to trust myself more, if that makes sense. So that act alone has been super it's made me feel good. It's opened me up for opportunities. It's like it makes me feel, I guess in a way it makes my self-worth feel better, if that makes sense. So I guess in a way, oh man, how do I say this? I feel like if I were to talk to my old self, like, hey, Richard, you should go exercise, I'd be like, screw you, I don't want to exercise. That's way too much work. It takes too much time to exercise. And then I got to go to the gym, whatever. And I'd be like, what? It's the benefits don't outweigh the cost of energy, the cost of my time, and all that kind of stuff. But since now that I've been doing it for over a month every single day, I realized like it's really not as hard as I thought it was. So that's number one. I've been feeling a lot more positive. I've been feeling like a lot more, like giving myself permission to, I don't know how to say this, feel happy, be happy. So when I was in the past 2 weeks, I've been in Taiwan, kind of taking care of some family business and things like that. But in the process, I've also been, how do I say this? I was eating a lot. I was gaining weight while still exercising. So that probably means I was eating a lot. So it was nonstop eating. But yes, I feel better. And I'm finally in a space of, it's weird. I feel like I'm in a space where this is probably I'm going to enter this phase of the season of my life where I'll probably be one of the most healthy I've ever been. Because I'm eating healthy. I'm watching what I eat. I'm watching, I'm exercising, and then I'm going to, whatever. I'm going to watch my water. I got to drink more water, and, managing sleep, just being very self-aware. Okay. So before I read the comments, I see a few comments. Before I get to the comments, I will say overall, I feel like what makes us happy, what makes us feel confident is when we, how do I say this? When we're more in control of our actions, or more in control of our lives versus letting our habits control us. And before I want to read your comments in just a second, but before that, I want to share with you something that I learned. So I was listening to Mel Robbins, who is the author of The 5-Second Rule. And if you don't know Mel Robbins or The 5-Second Rule, the concept is very simple. The concept is, how do I say this? The concept is pretty much like you have 5 seconds to make a decision. And usually it's, for example, let's say you're sleeping and you wake up in the morning like, oh, I should get up. It's a lot of us, what we do is we hit the snooze button and we go back to sleep. For Mel Robbins, who teaches the 5-second rule, it's, okay, if you know you need to get up or you should be getting up, you count backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wow, I totally missed that one. 1. And then you get up. That's it. So that's kind of the concept of the 5-second rule. It's, she claims, or I think there's research studies that claims your mind has 5 seconds to make a decision to get up. Otherwise, it'll revert back or whatever, something like that. So I've been playing around with this concept for, I will say, sorry, 1 second. I've been playing around with this concept for, I would say about, let's see, for the past 4 or 5 days. And honestly, I have not quite pushed myself to take action on the 5-second rule. I've done it a few times. Sometimes okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, just do it. And I think this is a really neat concept that really simplifies. It simplifies kind of taking action. I think taking action on anything is really important. So for anyone who is struggling with, how do we say, like wanting to exercise but feeling lazy or feeling unmotivated, I think the 5-second rule might help, which is like, all right, I'm going to go exercise right now, but I don't feel like it. All right, screw it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go exercise. You know, so I don't know. That's just like a little tool. It works. I think it works for a lot of people. I've heard a lot of different stories, how it's changed people's lives. It's prevented people from committing suicide because they would count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then step away from the ledge and then go get help, stuff like that. So that's just a little tool that we have. And now I'm going to read comments. Let's read comments. Let's connect. Rico, you still get up at 5? Let's see. Do I still get up at 5? Funny story, when I was in Taiwan traveling, I was actually getting up at 4 a.m. every single morning to go swim. So Taiwan was fun. I had the opportunity to go swim with my mom. We went to like a local community pool and we swam for like an hour every single day. It was a good workout for sure. Do I still get up at 5? Again, right now my sleep schedule, because I just returned back from Taiwan, is really messed up. I'm waking up and sleeping at odd hours. However, my goal is to probably wake up at 5 a.m. once I start getting adjusted to it. So tonight, because I'm planning to sleep around midnight, I'm probably going to get up between 5 or 6. That's my goal. But at the same time, I don't know. I got to schedule everything out because I have a lot of life planning to do. I'm setting pretty big goals for myself right now, and I'm in this really, really awesome transition period of my life where I'm pushing myself to become a better person. And I think, goodness, I don't know how to say it. Like, this is a really magical season of my life, and I'm looking forward to, I don't know, taking more responsibility for my life. And I think you'll notice the increased quality of my conversations, the increased quality of my videos, and I don't know, more confidence with me. Because of the little baby steps, those little actions that I've been taking. And again, we can have more and more conversations about this because we're here for each other. You know, we're here to support each other. And by the way, I just want to say thank you thank you so much for continuing to tune in to these lives. And it gives me purpose. And literally what's funny about these things is like, this is free. You know, like there's no charge for this. I do have coaching clients who charge me for, you know, one-on-one sessions. But for me, I do this because this is what I'm passionate about. This is what I want to do. And I want to support you, and it's a blessing for me. So don't be afraid to connect with me. You know, I do, it's very contextual. Sometimes people reach out to me and, you know, we have conversations. It's kind of like feeling it out. So yeah, anytime you have any questions or comments, let me know. And I also look forward to, how do I say this? Connecting more. I look forward to, I don't know, just like building our relationship together and also connecting all of us together. So yeah, good stuff. Kimmy, let's see. You're a badass, Richard. You are on the verge of a miracle. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. And congratulations for your graduation today. I'm so happy for you. I need to give a really quick shout out, I guess, because I don't have Kimmy's permission to talk about her story. Unless you want to give me your permission, I would love that. Kimmy, who is on right now, is literally one of the most inspiring people that is in my life. I've had the honor and the privilege to kind of help her through like a very challenging period of her life. And I've seen her go from one extreme of like super, super hardship. Like, she's one of the people I've never seen struggle. Like, I don't know. I know very few people who have struggled as much as Kimmy has. And then now she's on the complete opposite side. She just graduated her leadership program and she is freaking killing it in her life. Like, okay, so Kimmy just gave me permission to share her story. All right, so let me know if I'm getting too personal here. So Kimmy, oh goodness, Kimmy and I met, what was that, about six years ago, and at that time, she was looking for a job. I was looking for a job, and hold on, I'm going too far back. So anyway, we're both looking for jobs. you know, whatever you want to say. We're desperate for work, stuff like that. We're looking for a job. And we both went our separate paths. She went on her own, I went on my own, and we reconnected a few years later. I'm just going to say we reconnected like 2 years ago or something like that, maybe 3. And when we reconnected, she was telling me how hard of a situation she was in. She was working 3 jobs. I forgot your commute time. Let's see. I think Kimmy was commuting, 4 hours a day? At least 4 hours a day. 3 different jobs, working, how many hours were you working? I don't remember. 60 to 80 hours. It was ridiculous. 80 plus hours? I don't remember. With a kid. So she's supporting a kid and supporting her parents who were not doing very well, you know, and just in such a bad situation. But and I just remember one moment where she called me up and she's like, "Hey, Rich, I just try to like kill myself, or you know, I almost jumped out of the car while the car was moving because I was having an argument with my mom, and my mom told me, go kill yourself or something like that. And I'm just like, holy crap, like, that is so crazy. That's so crazy that you can go from, I don't know, it's so crazy that you're still here, you know, and not only is Kimmy here, but like, she's like, you're a huge inspiration to me. It's just like, the fact that you've been through so much and you've attempted to kill yourself in certain situations, but now you're freaking, so Kimmy is working for, Disney related, Disney, Pixar, something like that. Sorry. I can't keep up. I have a hard time keeping track of these like little details. Disney, Pixar. Yeah. Something like that. Yes. And, Kimmy says, she had a horrible relationship and became a single mom. That's another one. So she's like supporting everyone, supporting her parents, you know, a child, single parent, going through like life is giving her all the crap. And at the end of the day, she ends up like, I remember a few years ago, whenever we'd have calls, she would complain a lot. Like, she would complain about her life, and like, you know, life is so tough. Everyone's so mean to me. Everyone's like my boss sucks, like everything. And now it's like she's taking control of her life. Now she's getting, not only does she work at Disney Interactive Studios, not just at a job that pays money, but at something that she actually enjoys. And Kimmy declined a job, right? Kimmy declined a job, a promotion, because she knew she could do better than that. And she's on track to pursuing what she's really passionate about. And Kimmy, I'm so proud of you. Like, congratulations. That's amazing. So I just want to share that. Thank you so much for hopping on. Interview with ABC. Ooh, look at that. Goodness. Yeah, so Kimmy's, you're my hero. Thank you very much. All right, and not to mention, Kimmy, sorry, I haven't talked to you in a few weeks, or, you know, but I remember the last time we caught up, you've already lost 20 pounds, and that was in like 2 months or so. Give us an update on how much weight you lost since. So, because I know it's been a few weeks since, you know, then till today. So let us know how much weight you've lost too. All right, I want to continue reading the comments here, and we will kind of go a little bit back and forth with the conversations. Chowder, how do you get to know your limits when exercising? You push your limits. That's how you know. I'm going to be very transparent with myself, or with all of you, and say that when I exercise, my exercise is more to, how do I say this, to maintain my health. There is a piece of exercise that I can see very beneficial for me, which is pushing myself. It's like pushing myself to the limit. There are days where I do, and there's most of the days it's more to maintain myself. I do, let's see, on a scale 1 through 10, how strenuous are my workouts typically? I would give it I'm going to go with 6 to 7. So let's go with 6.5. There's a lot more opportunities to push myself, and again, that's why I don't claim myself to be an exercise guru or whatever it is. My thing is, I want to break a sweat, I want to build muscles, things like that. You know, I want to be stronger. And so what I do for myself works, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people who can challenge me like, hey, Richard, you can do better than that. And Richard, you can push yourself harder. Richard, you can grow more. And I get to do that as well. So, but how do you know your limits? Honestly, I feel like push yourself. Like push yourself until you can't do it. So there's something in the what Navy SEALs say. And they say, if you feel like you've pushed yourself 100%, you still got 60 more to go. So if you think you push yourself 100%, you still have 60% more effort to go. Meaning, it's mind over matter. So what was it? I remember hearing a story from a friend or something like that where he was living at a person's house, a Navy SEAL's house, and the Navy SEAL's like, hey, I want you to do whatever it is, like 20 pull-ups, like pull-up bar, or this way, whatever, that thing. And he's like, no, that's crazy. Like, I can't do that many. That's ridiculous. I'm not that strong. And the Navy SEAL said, just do it. And then he's like, oh, fuck. He's like, okay, fine, I'll do it. So he does it. He struggles. He does, he gets to like around 10 and he just like, I can't do it anymore. Like his body just gives out. And he ends up doing, like slowly he does another 20. And he completes his 20. And he's like, oh, finally, I'm done. Like that was crazy. I can't believe I did 20 pull-ups. And the Navy SEAL's like, okay, now I want you to do 100 more. And the guy's like, what are you talking about? Like, I could barely do 20. How am I supposed to do 100 more? He's like, do 100 more. And then, so he does 100 more. And he completes them all. And the whole story behind this is that it's mind over matter. Sometimes we feel like we can do 100%, but it's actually, our bodies can do so much more. So that was a cool little lesson. That scares me a little bit and lets me know that I could do more. All right, so let's recap this here. Kimmy says, at 25, so Kimmy lost 25 pounds, but it'll be more soon. Yay, that's awesome. That's ridiculous. 25 pounds in 3 months. I think that's very impressive. So good job, Kimmy. I'm proud of you. All right, I'm going to get back to these comments. Let's do this. Even on weekends. Let's see. Rico, do I still get up at 5 a.m. even on weekends? Honestly, like weekdays and weekends are all the same to me. Like just because it's a quote unquote weekend, it doesn't mean, I get to sleep in or whatever it is. So for the most part, I do my best to keep a consistent schedule all 7 days of the week. That's just my style. And it's also because that's kind of my lifestyle. It's, Saturdays and Sundays, there's a little bit hint of a little bit of a break, but for the most part, I try to be productive. And let me be very clear, when I say the word try, I'm still working on being more efficient, and I consider myself a pretty inefficient person. I think I waste a lot of time, and that's just bad habits layered on top of bad habits. So I got to work through improving that and stop wasting so much time with unnecessary things. And I think in the state of mind I'm in right now, in the how do I say this? In this flow that I'm in, I will probably be able to learn how to be more efficient, and not only learn to be more efficient, but to push myself to be more efficient, because I know that it's not going to be easy. I know being more efficient is not something that's just given to us. It's something that we have to push ourselves to work harder towards. Oh goodness, there's so many different conversations I could have right now. So I'm going to try to hold on this little thought, or maybe I'll talk about it right now, but I want to read your comments too. The thought I have is crazy. All right, I'm going to talk about this really briefly and then, go back to your comments. So I think about 2 days ago, I talked about this concept that the girl I'm dating, her name's Christine, she shared with me, which is the concept of infinite self-worth. This concept, again, I'm going to repeat it, infinite self-worth, meaning that we as human beings, we all have infinite self-worth. We are worth infinity. Like, we are worth, how do I say this? There is no limit to how much we are worth, all of us, not just me, not just the other person, you too, all of us. There is no limit to how much we are worth. The problem is our society kind of puts labels on us and tells us what we're worth. So I'm just going to give a quick example. I remember when I started working out of college, I had this concept of how much money I'm worth per hour, which was, I believe I was making like $10 an hour when I graduated. So my idea was I'm worth $10 an hour. And then I remember the next year, my next job, when I started working at Sony Pictures, I was making like $21 an hour and doing pretty much the same job, but my salary just doubled. Why? Because I don't know, they weren't as cheap as freaking NBC Universal. You know, like they paid me more. And then I got a little bit of a promotion, and then I'm like, oh shoot, you know, I'm worth $25 an hour. And my point in this is like, I don't know, like society, companies will almost like brainwash us into what we're worth. You know, I don't know how to say this. It's like, I don't like putting value on how much are you worth per hour. Like that seems so unhuman, you know? It's like, like it takes away. But so going back to unlimited self-worth, goodness, I got off track a little bit here. I feel like, goodness, man, this is mind-blowing for me. So I was having a conversation with the girl I'm dating, and our relation, like we both want to you know, like save the world. That was the cheesy version of it. We want to make a difference in the world. We want to make a huge impact. And for me, like, I'm motivated already to, you know, do this whole inspirational speaker thing, to make YouTube videos, things like that. But as you could tell, I'm only moving so fast. Like, this is the pace upwards that I'm moving at. I could be moving much faster, right? And now that I have this other person, well, we'll call her Christine, who's supporting me, and we're both supporting each other, like, she really encourages me to push myself a little bit faster, you know, a little bit faster, a little bit higher. And what I realized, what I need to do is I need to push myself faster so I can support her in her vision, because that's going to help her move faster too. And then this created this whole cycle and realization that, how do I say this? The realization is that we have unlimited self-worth. Our vision, our goal is limited by the level of our ambition. So again, I'm going to say it again. Our goals and our vision is limited by the, how do I think I lost it, by the amount of ambition that we have. So if you choose that you want to be more ambitious, ambition is a choice. Like that is what it is. Ambition is a choice. Do you want to be more ambitious, or do you want to be lazy and be status quo, whatever it is? So if you choose you want to be more ambitious, which is scary, right? Then the more ambition you have, the more drive you're going to have to achieve your goals. Like, that's just how it is. So what scares the crap out of me is this knowledge. I'm sorry that I just shared it with you. Now you're like, ah, great, now I know this. But that is what it is. So now that you know that your potential is limitless, like you can achieve whatever the heck you want in the world, now it's up to you to figure out how ambitious do you want to be. You know, do you want to settle for a standard life, a very comfortable life? Do you want to do a little bit of impact, or do you want to do massive impact, whatever it is? So that is honestly a question I'm still struggling with, because I'm like, oh my goodness, I feel a little bit anxious thinking about how do I say this? I feel a little bit anxious thinking about now that I know this, I have a little bit more of this responsibility to work extra hard and impact more lives in the world. You know, making YouTube videos, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, YouTube videos, whatever, all this stuff is great. But the way I'm approaching it in terms of a bigger picture, like a wide scale, how do I impact the world? I think it can grow so much, like exponentially larger. Like right now, I'm, you know, how many people we got? I see 9 people on right now. So, by the way, if you're confused, Kimmy or whoever's on, I'm doing Facebook Live in the Infinite Master community while doing a YouTube Live in the Infinite Master YouTube page. Why not? Because it's the same place, just different platforms. So, yeah, we have infinite self-worth, and you are capable of achieving whatever the heck you want in your life. It's just how much ambition do you have. All right, so with that being said, let's continue on comments. Where are we at? Okay. Sorry for taking so long to read your comments. I ignored them for 20 minutes. I could see comments here. Chatter, do you personally burn out if you exercise too hard? Do I burn out if I exercise too hard? I personally have not experienced burnout in terms of exercise. I don't know if you mean during the exercise, physically, or you mean mentally, like, oh man, I screw this, I don't want to exercise anymore. So, when I first started working out a month ago, I was on this, you could say pretty, I would say medium to high intensity workout. And it was like HIIT. It was almost like high intensity training, a little bit. It was like, there were 20 to 40 minute workouts, but they pushed me really hard. So when I first started doing that, I was so sore that like the next day I'd be like my body would not physically be able to do a push-up anymore. Like I was just so like, I'm like, okay, how am I supposed to work out? Like I can't use my arms anymore. And that's when I realized if I can't lift weights anymore, I got to do something else. So my other thing that day when my body just gave up was I went for a run. It was still hard, but I still did it anyway. So physically, if my body physically burns out, I try to use a different muscle group or do something different. So I've had a lot of times where my arms would give up, so I would do ab workout instead. And then if my abs are not having any more, then I would do something else. So that's kind of how I continue to just keep moving. So that's physical burnout. Let's talk about more emotional/mental burnout. I want to say that's a tough question. I don't feel like I've ever gotten to that stage where I've pushed myself so hard that I'm not going to do anymore. What's been keeping me going with my workouts is because I made a commitment to myself and my coaching client/friend, Scott, that both of us would exercise every single day from November 1st all the way till December 31st. So that commitment and the fact that someone else's life depends on me is what motivates me and pushes me to continue to exercise more. Now, after December 31st, I already have more accountability. I'm creating this thing that I've done in the past. I'm going to reintroduce it. This thing called a letter of commitment, which is what am I committed? Letter of declaration, and it's what am I declaring that I'm going to accomplish in my life. So more commitments. And in that letter, I haven't officially signed it and written it out completely, but I'm pretty sure one of my things is going to be exercise at least 5 times a week, if not 7, every single day. So for another 3 months, it's like signing a contract again. I'm committed to exercising every single day for whatever, at least 30 minutes for the next 3 months, all the way until February 26th, which I think is the date that we're choosing. So that's what keeps me going, and having accountability helps a lot. Like if I did this by myself, it'd be harder to, and I remember that's just me. Like I know myself well enough to know that I lack accountability. I'm not proud of it, but that's just the stage in my life I'm at right now. And so if you lack accountability, go find accountability from someone that you could trust to keep you accountable. And it especially helps when both of you are doing it. Try to find someone that is not going to put up with your crap, someone who is actually going to do it. And that's what I have. Like, I don't want to say this, like, no offense to anyone, but if you feel like the other person is going to slack off or they're not committed to doing it, try to find someone else who's more committed. And also don't waste all your time like, oh, I couldn't find a person, so I guess I'm not going to work out. Just do the best that you can to find the right person. It doesn't have to be perfect, just do it. So that's what I have. I've been very lucky to have awesome people in my life, and this is the benefit of having a good network of people and surrounding yourself with good people. And I forgot who says this, but you might have heard of this already. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So pick people and surround yourself with very positive vibes, good energy, all that kind of stuff. All right. Let's see. Guiguinhi. And YouTube, the sound is better. Interesting. Maybe my mic is not... I feel like my mic should be on because the Facebook stream audio should actually be much better because I'm using a very high quality mic on it. All right, so going back to questions, Benny, is that where we're at? Yes, Benny. Hey, Benny, it's good to see you as well. I don't know if you're still on. If you are you still gaming? I'm not gaming right now. So hold on, let me be clear on that. I'm not gaming in this moment, and I don't plan to game anytime soon. So why I kind of say it like that is because I'm not, how do I say this? I'm not committing. Dang it, this is so detailed. I have no intention of gaming right now, and I've also not made a commitment to not ever go back to gaming. It's, man, I have so many random thoughts floating around. My point is that in this season of my life, I'm doing really well, and I'm really focused on making a difference, getting my life together, speaking more, all these kind of things. So, like, I'm how do I say this? Motivated, on track enough with my life that gaming is not a priority to me. And I just had a thought in my mind right now, which was, I was going to check out the League of Legends, LOLesports.com, which is like a site that I was like freaking obsessed with for the past few years. You know, I watch esports, all this kind of stuff. And for me, I had the thought, I'm like, hey, I know that, All-Stars are coming up in like sometime this month. And I was about to go check. I'm like, wait, I don't even care about this stuff right now. Like, I'm so focused on my own life and priorities that stuff is not very important to me right now. And not to say, trust me, like I love the community, or the troll community of League of Legends. I love I appreciate Riot Games. So I don't know if you don't play League of Legends or you have no idea what the heck that is. It's a really cool game. It's the biggest game in the whole entire world right now. Like, it's the most popular, biggest fan base. Multi-million-dollar prize pools for the championship games. It's huge. So I respect Riot Games for creating such a powerful community. They did such a good job getting fans and engaged, and having a pro scene, and doing cosplay and fan art and merchandising and all this stuff. Like, part of the reason why I follow Riot Games is because they did such a good job with it, and they figured out a way to build this hype and get people involved with it. Like, it's for those of you who don't know, you might not know this if you don't follow the scene, but League of Legends World Championship had more viewers than the NBA Finals. That's crazy, right? Like, it's a video game had more viewers than the NBA Finals, and NBA Finals is watched around the world. Like, I know people in Asia watch NBA Finals too. So that's how big the game is for my non-gamers. Alrighty. Let's see. All right, Benny. Yay, I'm glad you're still here. All right, Benny, 5-second rule is a great strategy that I employ. That's so cool. It's so cool to me that, some of you on here are into personal development. You already know these skills. Feel free to kind of share more resources that you have. Again, I'm only just one person, and my goal is to kind of share as much information as I can with you. The good news is that in this season of my life, I'm really focused, again, on growing myself. So I'm going to get, every single week, I'm going to dive in, every single day, I'm going to be diving into more reading and watching videos and taking lessons and anything around just growing the mind, spirituality, around different Eastern and Western philosophies. Christine, I don't think she's on right now, but oh goodness, Christine, you're amazing. Like, woo. So the girl I'm dating, like, she's super into growing and learning, and she's inspired me so much to grow my mind. And I'm just really happy that I have this opportunity to learn and grow, because it's what I realized, it's a really important piece. So, all right, I'm gonna dive in real quick. I see, she's on. I didn't know that. Okay, so I was watching a podcast with Mel Robbins and Lewis House today, and one little thing that they did was, hold on, I'm trying to figure out how to do this. So there's like, how do I do this? Okay, they did like a really quick example. I know. This is messy. So Mel Robbins like, okay, in our life we have 3 buckets or 3 cups. Okay, I know these aren't cups, but pretend they're cups. All right, this cup represents let's see, what is it? Like our delivery, like how good we are at delivering content, our message. This represents shoot, I'm so bad at remembering this. What is it? Content. The content that we have. So how in depth is your content? And this last cup right here represents personal growth. And this personal growth cup is how are you improving yourself every single day? And Lewis Howes, who is like a New York Times bestselling author, he runs the School of Greatness podcast. He's like, for the longest time, he used to focus on this one and this one, delivering the content and creating the content. And he became a master of that. The problem with that is that Lewis Howes became very unfulfilled because even though he was mastering these 2 ones, I can't point, this one and this one, he felt unfulfilled because he kind of felt like a little bit like a fraud. Like he wasn't filling his cup. So the 3rd cup right here, which is the personal development cup, he was starting to fill up. And it wasn't until he filled up this one, the personal development, that he started feeling more fulfilled because it gave him a sense of like he actually knows the content and he's practicing it. So I think the same thing applies to me. Sometimes I get into a little bit of this lazy mode and I don't feel like learning anymore. I don't feel like studying and doing stuff. And I just create speeches, content. I just create speeches, work on my speech, hone the skill of storytelling. And then this one, which is delivery. I hone my delivery. How do I express myself to students and stuff like that? But the problem with just focusing on these 2 is I also don't feel fulfilled without this 3rd one, personal development and growing my own personal self in the process. So that's what I got, a little piece that I want to share with you from that conversation. So yeah, learning is exciting. Like the fact that I listened to his podcast today was the only reason I was able to share that with you, So without us growing, my point is if you don't grow, then it's hard for you to kind of contribute and connect and have more valuable things to say. I don't mean that in the mean way, I just mean that it just gives us more opportunities. Okay, I want to get back to comments. I see some awesome comments here. Let's see. All right. Oh goodness. Wow, lots of great comments here. Okay, Chowder. Jake says, personally, I ran 5 miles and then the next day I was super tired and only ran 1. It completely killed my motivation. Okay. So, Jake, first of all, awesome. Great job running 5 miles and then great job going back and running 1 mile. I think, sure, our body could be fatigued and tired. So if you push yourself, I would almost recommend, instead of feeling disappointed that you can't run again, I would almost try doing something a little bit different. And I know not everyone has an access to a swim pool, but what if instead of running the 2nd day in a row when your body's all sore and you feel like crap, what if you tried swimming? And that's not the best example because I know not everyone likes swimming, but just using it as an example, what if you went swimming instead for 5 miles worth, whatever that is, an hour, whatever it is. Then, that way you keep your body moving and you keep this flow. So I guess in a way, my point is like, try not to focus on the negative energy. Try to do things that are going to keep propelling you forward, pushing you forward to make you feel better about yourself. I think action is super important to being happy and maintaining that those good vibes. So yes, please keep doing that. Goodness, it's my mind is like I'm feeling a lot of emotions right now because it's weird because right now I'm very grateful to be in this positive space with these positive vibes, feeling confident and happy with who I am today in this moment. Definitely there's parts of me that I need to improve, and I still beat myself up over like the fact that I've been sleeping every single day for a lot of the day and not being as productive as I want. Like it feels kind of crappy, but I realized the only way I'm going to get better is when I push myself slowly by slowly to start being more productive, to push myself when I'm tired to keep working anyway. Because today I'm battling with my sleepiness. My sleepiness is like, hey, Richard, take a nap. It'll feel good. You need it for more energy so you can do stuff. And I took a lot of naps today, and I'm gonna be very honest. There are many times where I bought into the nap because I was nodding off, like I could not focus, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go take a nap real quick. 30 minutes later, I set my I'm using my phone. Duh. I set my alarm here. This is my desk, and my bed is that way. So I always put my phone here. That way, if my alarm goes off, I actually have to get up out of bed to come here. But I hit my snooze button, and then I started walking back to my bed. And then in that moment, I was like, I did the same. I was like, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fuck it, just wake up. And I woke up. I had 30 minutes to do stuff, and I tried to be as productive as possible. So that's just a tiny little win, but honestly, it's the tiny little wins that count. Like literally those tiny little wins. That's what's going to propel us forward. All right. Okay, let's keep going with these comments. I see a lot of great ones. Let's see. I'm skimming through them. Again, I see a lot of cool concepts. So let's make sure we hit up all these comments. Benny, check out mini habits as well. The concept is you start off very small, and so you can't fail. You might do 1 sit-up a day, then 2, and so on. Micro wins are very important. Goodness. I believe everyone, like, there's so many different ideas and philosophies, and I don't want to say one idea is right. One idea works and other ones don't. With the mini habits, I like that. And I think I also like that too. And, if you ever hear me say this, I like to translate it into baby steps. Just take baby steps. Don't beat yourself up. Take baby steps. So I'm a fan of the mini habits. Thank you, Benny. And what do I have to say about this one? A mini habit I used to do, this is like years ago, but I remember I used to believe that I was very weak. Like I couldn't do push-ups. And the reality was I also really couldn't do that many push-ups. So I remember one day I challenged myself, and that was every single day I'm going to do push-ups, but I'm going to start small. I'm going to start with 10 push-ups. So the first day I did 10 push-ups. The next day I did 15, and then the next day 20, next day 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Guess what? I ended up getting to 100 push-ups. So 100 push-ups in one session. I could stop and break, but I had to do it in kind of like one sitting if that's what you want to call it. So yeah, that's what I have to say. I did push-ups, and I also did sit-ups, but like times 2 or something like that. So if I did 100 push-ups, I'd have to do 200 sit-ups to go with it. So mini wins, right? Mini habits. It's like start small and just build your way up. So I want to speak to anyone who is feeling that kind of like sadness, depression, losing hope, because I feel like some of those people are on here. We got a mix of people here. So if you're in a very negative space, I don't know how to say it. It's like sometimes like if I were to be in a negative space, I would feel really crappy because I'd be like, oh man, like, Richard seems like his life is going well. Look at him. He has his life together. My life is all screwed up, and this is just the way it is. This sucks. And look at me complaining about it. I feel so crappy. I'm such a shitty person, all this stuff. But the thing is, we all go through that phase. We all go to that phase of like beating ourselves up, feeling worthless, and all that kind of stuff. So what I want to say is start small, like forgive yourself and just one step at a time. That's all I have to say. And I feel like it's like this exponential curve. It's like the beginning is going to be freaking tough. Like you're going to move so slow. You're going to move so slow. You're like, man, what the heck is the point of me even trying to exercise or trying to do 1 sit-up or 2 sit-ups? Like, this is so stupid. But the thing is, like, you're going to start here. Onithox, yes, of course I remember you. Oh, goodness. That's crazy. It's been forever. It's like, that was like 1 or 2 years ago, right? Anyway, so let's see. The girl I like texted me. We texted. That's awesome. Okay, so if you're like down low and you're like beating yourself up and all this stuff, like it's gonna seem like any kind of effort you put in is like, this sucks, like nothing's working out, and all of a sudden, like you're gonna start going like this, you're gonna start going higher, and then all of a sudden, like things are gonna become more and more effortless, and it'll just be easy, and it'll just go, well, ups and downs a little bit, but it'll eventually go up. So that's what I have there. Alrighty, let's continue on with your awesome comments because I see a ton. I see Keely. Good to see you on. Good to see you on, brother. All right. Oh my goodness, there's so many, like, seriously, I see so many comments. Rabab, yeah, good to see you on. Vidang, good to see you on. How do I stop myself from being lazy? You take action. This video's not frozen. Your mind just got blown. My mind just got blown. So how do you sorry. How do you prevent yourself from being lazy? Literally, it's a choice. It's like, do something. Do something, anything. Vidang, like, do anything. If you feel lazy, just do something. Like, I know it sucks. I know doing stuff sucks. Like, I dare you, I challenge you to, in this moment, like right now, you know, no bullshit. Like, in this moment right now, make a commitment to yourself to do something. I don't care if it's like freaking brushing your teeth. Like, do something. Do something that challenge yourself to do something that you know you should be doing, but you're kind of lazy, you don't want to do it. Like, and I get it. Like, you taking one action may not change your life, and that's okay. But the practice of doing things you don't want to do when you know you should be doing them is what's going to get you out of this habit. Being lazy is a habit. So what we want to do is we want to build up this habit of not being lazy, of taking action, of actually doing things. So I'm going to give you a personal example. Flossing. I hate flossing. I want to repeat that again. I hate flossing. It's annoying. I have this, every single time I go to bed, I have a 5-item checklist, you know, like bathroom checklist. It's brushing my teeth, flossing, using a tongue scraper. Oh, my, that's bad memes. Okay, moving on. Mouthwash. I just dug myself into a hole. The last one is flossing. Out of all these 5, they're really simple. Flossing is the most annoying one because it takes the longest. And it's like, I don't know what it is. So sometimes I'll go like 4 for 5. And I'd feel like crap because I didn't actually floss and I know I should have flossed. But I don't know. It's like, I feel like I'm 50%. This is bad. I'm not bragging. I really am not. Like, this is awful. Onathox, you should have been on earlier. We had this conversation. Am I still playing video games? No, I'm not. Rewatch this video if you want. I went through a whole conversation for like 5 to 10 minutes about video games and stuff like that. Anyway, going back to flossing and being lazy. So to stop being lazy, we got to resist the urge of being lazy. We got to resist the urge to do what's easy and do the right thing. So for me, there's times where I don't feel like flossing, but guess what? I do it anyway. And guess what? I still screw up. There's times where I know I should be flossing and my laziness buys in and I don't floss. And now my teeth are like that. Anyway, floss your teeth. Okay, so this is I don't know. I was going to say I suck as a human. I don't suck as a human being, but like I suck as a perfect role model. You know, like I screw up all the time too. So we all just get to push ourselves, and me too. You know, me being a quote unquote role model for many people, I get to push myself even harder. You know, it's I got to be that example, and I'm not the best example, and I got to continue pushing myself to be the best example. So there we go. That's how you can stop being lazy. Stop being lazy by taking action, doing things that you don't feel like doing. Just do it. Goodness, you people and your awesome comments. Seriously. Okay. But dang, I just can't focus on working. I'm lazy almost all the time. Even though I know I must work, I can't focus. So, look, Vidang, like we all have our own challenges. You know, some of us have ADHD. Some of us like are just so distracted we can't focus on work. I don't know if that's your case, but just know that we all have our own challenges. And it is up to us to push ourselves to figure that out. So if you can't focus, let me see. I don't know how to say it. Like this comes down to self-awareness. If you want to learn how to focus better, what you get to do is you get to really just stop for a second and just think. Stop for a second, think about what do you need to do in order for you to get focused. And I'm guessing one thing you might like to say is, well, I don't know. I don't know is the easiest answer you can give. And please don't keep allowing yourself to say, I don't know. Because you do know. We all know. We all have the answers already. It's just, ironically enough, we're lazy. And not always. But if you don't feel like you know the answer, or if you feel like the answer is I don't know, then instead of saying I don't know, change that to how can I know? Okay? So if you don't know how to focus, instead of saying I don't know how to focus, ask yourself, how can I focus? And if your mind keeps saying, well, I don't know how to focus, change the question again. How can I focus? So you always want to be in question, and anytime your mind disagrees with something that you should be doing, change the question. Change the question and figure it out. This is a tough process. It's not an easy thing to do. Don't be so hard on yourself and be like, man, I'm so stupid. I can't figure out such a simple question of how can I focus? I feel so disappointed in myself. Don't do that. It's not about feeling disappointed in yourself. It's about figuring out a way to actually do it. So be patient with yourself and, ask yourself those good questions. And you know the answer. So take time to really think about how can Vedang focus. So that's how you focus. You just slow down your mind. I'll give you a quick little example of how do you focus. So let's say I'm doing work. This is where I do my work, in my room right here. I have, Facebook notifications. I got emails. I got all these distractions. So if I know I need to do work and I get distracted, what does Richard need to do? I need to close my Facebook. I need to turn off my emails, put my phone on silent. And what else is going to help? Sometimes cleaning up my space helps a little bit too. So those are some things that I know off the top of my head that I can do to be focused. So you get to dig deeper into yourself and figure out what's going to help you be focused. Is it, let's say you have like a billion different tasks to do. Is it, tackling all the little tasks so your mind doesn't get all distracted? Or is it being very intentional about, okay, I'm not focusing on that. I'm just focusing on studying this in this moment right now. Alrighty, let me see. I see comments about girlfriend, something like that on the bottom, which I'll get to. I'm going to do this in order, and we will get there, okay? I will catch up with your comments. Let's see. Okay. Chatter, were you here for the 5-second rule conversation? Okay, let's see. I'm failure, I guess. Benny been playing Skyrim. It's a time waster if you're not careful. I use Cold Turkey to block my Steam account when I need to work. Awesome. Shut up. This is when you decided to stop playing League, were you playing ranked, and what rank were you? How much were you playing daily? I love this question because I love League of Legends, even though I don't play it. I'm going to answer this. So let's see. Oh boy, dude, this is embarrassingly funny, awkward, hilarious. Okay, so when I decided to stop playing League of Legends, was I playing ranked? Hell yes, I was playing ranked. Yes, hardcore. What rank was I? Let's see. I believe, I can't remember. I was probably gold 1 or 2. My highest rank I've ever hit was plat 5, and I'm gonna be real. Like, if I kept playing League of Legends, I would probably be like a diamond player or something like that. But anyone can be a diamond player, really. It's just I just knew that the amount of energy to get a freaking little mental boost of serotonin, or whatever the heck you want to call it, to get that, ooh, I'm a diamond player, was not worth the time and the effort and the stress and the negative emotions and the negative blah for it. So I'm like, that's when I made the decision. I'm like, screw it, I'm not going to do it. And I ended gold 1 or whatever this season, because I'm like, plat 5 is easy, but it just takes way too many hours to grind to get to that level. How much were you playing daily? At my freak. When I was playing a few months ago in my depressive state and, all that crap, I was playing a lot. Like, it was stupid. Like, I'm not proud of it. I feel like I was probably playing all day long type of thing. Like, I was really sad. I was just like, I was in my zone. I was playing I don't, whatever you want to say, like probably like morning to night type of thing. Just, it was not healthy. And I knew it, and it took me some time to kind of be like, Richard, this is not healthy. Change it. So, one day I decided, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. So I quit. I uninstalled League of Legends and moved forward. So, yeah, that's what I got. I see comments. Let's see. All right, we are going to catch up with these comments. I feel it. Keely, someone tried to persuade me into playing League of Legends, but nope. Hi, Richard. Any books you recommend? Limit Break 32. So let me know in what area. You need to be more specific. What do you want to learn? There's tons of books, and Christine, if you're still on, Christine is a great resource because she's read like, I don't know how many books have you read? Like 300, at least 300 books. So there's a ton of books. But I'll be happy to recommend the books that I have. Yeah, I'll always mention the 4 Agreements. I love the 4 Agreements. It's a great way to ground yourself, not take things personally, to build up your self-esteem, things like that. If you want a quick book summary, I have a YouTube video. Just search 4 Agreements on my YouTube channel and you'll find that one. So that's a cool book that I recommend. Another book that I'll recommend is The Power of Vulnerability by Brené Brown. That's another one of my favorite books. Very simple read, and it talks about, I don't know, it's just like, if you feel kind of trapped in your body and you judge yourself a lot and you feel insecure, read The Power of Vulnerability. It'll help you kind of be free from that burden of beating the shit out of yourself. Productivity books. If you want to learn how to stop wasting so much time and be more productive, I recommend Eat That Frog. Eat That Frog. It's a super simple, it's like a 80-page book. There's like 21 little bullet points of things you could do to break those bad habits. And for example, Eat That Frog. The frog refers to the most important task, the most difficult task. So let's say the biggest task you have for the day is for you to study for that big exam. Instead of washing the dishes, or what, I don't know how to say that. Instead of putting your clothes away, focus on the biggest thing first. Study for the exam first, and once you accomplish this really annoying, gross task, what you do, Onatox, I see that. What you do is you're gonna feel much better. And once you finish this, you could tackle everything else because this was the hardest task. So all the other tasks will just feel easy to you. That's their strategy. I don't know if I agree with it. I have a hard time tackling the biggest tasks first, but it's a good little resource. Onatox, do I watch Gary Vee? Yes, I do. I'm jumping around a little bit to answer quick questions. Yes, absolutely, I do follow Gary Vee. He is kind of a badass. All right, let's see. All right. I'm gonna speed through these comments. Benny, check out Brian Johnson. He's on YouTube. Okay, cool. Let's see. Living classes are number 1 hour. Blah blah blah. Cool. Naps are great at the high performance sleep 8 hours and take midday rest. Awesome. Chatter. So when it comes to gaming, while we're on this topic, I found that there are 2 types of gaming. There is constructive, enriching experiences that add to my life, and there is the time wasting, almost automatic side that completely detracts from my life. That line is super thin. How do I regulate myself and understand when to stop when it stops being productive? Because when I stop enjoying it, I still keep going because I'm hooked. I know how you feel. I think a lot of us people in this room who play video games could totally relate with that. So how do you stop playing video games, and how do you define that line between being productive and it like enjoying it, like that positive vibes, versus that kind of mindlessly playing it? And I think this is where you need to, like, literally, when you're playing the game, stop yourself, pause your mind for just a second, pause your mind and ask yourself this question: does playing this feel good right now? Does playing this game feel good for me right now? Or another question could be something like, should I be playing this right now? If your answer is yes, keep playing. If your answer is no, stop playing, And I feel like you already know the answer. We all do. We all already can tell where that line is. And the only challenge is building up that self-awareness to know when to stop playing, to know when you're crossing that line. Because you also need to take into consideration, what are your other responsibilities? What are the other responsibilities that you have? And do you actually have the permission to focus on these other topics, or should you be doing something else? Alrighty. Let's see what I see here. Ahmed, yeah, I will floss my teeth. Let's see. Thanks so much for the turnaround of the statement. I don't know how can I know? Huh. All right. La 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 la. Let's see. Alrighty. Onathox, I eat when I'm bored, stressed. What would you do? So, right now I'm in a space in my life where, in this moment, I feel much more control of my life, and I'm being very intentional when I eat. So, goodness, I'm a little bit proud of myself. I'm happy, I'm grateful. So when I came back from Taiwan, I had a bag of spicy chips. Like, I love chips. I love spicy. But I knew when I came back, when the plane landed here in California, I was like, I'm eating healthier. So I had my half-eaten bag of chips, which I wanted to finish, but I'm like, you know what this is? This bag of chips is literally just garbage. It's literally just chemicals and shit and all this stuff. I took my bag of chips, I just threw it in the trash. That was it. And I looked at it, I'm like, normally I'll eat that, but I know that stuff isn't good for me. So, by the way, no judgment. No judgment to anyone who's eating chips and stuff like that. Like, seriously, we're all on our own path, and that's okay. I'm sure sometime in the future I'll eat chips again. And it's just, in this moment, I've made that choice that I'm not going to eat chips. Another thing is emotional eating. If I'm bored, am I going to eat? So this is one of those things where, like, it's whatever, mind over matter. It's like, we got to make a choice. I'm going to give a really quick reference. My dad is such a mindless eater. Like, literally, I've seen him gain so much weight these past few months because he hasn't been watching what he eats. He eats a bunch of garbage. He eats a bunch of, like, processed food snacks that are sitting in the cabinet. And for me, it's tough, because I was taking care of my dad. It's like, I put some snacks, very little. I had to put it there because if there were no snacks, he would complain that there's nothing to eat. So I had to put it there. And, I look at my cabinet right now and it's like, I don't eat that stuff. It's just, right before my Taiwan trip, I had like Nature Valley granola bars, and I got a whole box of them. So if you want them, you can take them. But I'm not eating that anymore, because it has processed sugars and stuff like that. And I've just made my own commitment to myself that I would eat clean and, not processed foods and stuff like that. So all that junk is staying there. Again, no judgment if you are eating anything like that. That's perfectly okay. And that's all. Everyone's on their own journey. I don't talk down on anyone who does. You do your thing, and that's okay. And yeah, because I know that one day I will, maybe go back to junk and stuff. So that's okay. I accept. Alrighty. Let's see where we at. Keely, swimming has been hard. Okay. Even cool. Laziness. Set up systems in your life. Cool. You got that? Uh-huh. Yo, bro, you seem to be happier. If you're talking about me, yes. I'm very, very much happier than I have been in the past year. I'm definitely at a very high point in my life. And it's always scary being at a high because you have this feeling of like, how long is this high going to last? And it's kind of a choice. It's like being happy. Yes, it's a choice, but it's like, we can't control everything that happens in our life. Right. And there's going to be thoughts, those negative thoughts are going to try to bring me down. And it is my job to keep pushing myself to overcome these thoughts, these habits and everything, keep pushing forward so I can continue being happy. So that's going to be a challenge. But that's life, being happy, it takes effort in a way. And I'm up for that challenge, and I think I'm going to push through. There's gonna be moments in the next, I want to say just the next 3 months, when I'm pushing myself that I'm gonna like, oh, screw this, I don't like this, I don't like change, I don't want to, this is so uncomfortable, but I'm gonna push myself because I know after that, that's gonna make me happier. And so that's what I'm focused on right now. Alrighty. Let's see, how's it going with the girl? Pretty good, I would say. We're definitely supportive of each other, and yeah. Chowder, don't say that. That's how they get you. I can be diamond. I need to play more. That's hilarious. Let's see. Did I play Mortal Kombat? When I was like younger, I played Mortal Kombat. That was like what, middle school, high school, something like that. That's like 10 years ago or so. Who's your favorite character? Only video game that I would play. Okay, let's talk about Mortal Kombat right now. Favorite player. Let's see. I'm gonna go with goodness. The first one that pops in my head is either Raiden or Sub-Zero. I think Sub-Zero. Goodness, freaking, oh my goodness. Mortal Kombat, new Mortal Kombat is so ridiculous. Like, I can't believe how freaking gory it is. It's so disgusting. It's like, like, finish him. And I'm just like, holy shit, like, did you have to be that graphic? It's so ridiculous. Why? Oh, Scorpion. Scorpion's pretty cool too. There we go. Jeez. Okay. Let's see. I am talking to Richard Course on Talks. I play FIFA. FIFA seems like a really popular game. I know a lot of people who play FIFA. Okay, that's why I want to leave my parents' house ASAP, because they buy a lot of snacks. What I will say, let's see, damn the sweets and the salty granola bars. I like the sweet and salty ones for sure. The ones I have right now are the very classic granola bars, the 2-pack in one package, the green one. It's not my favorite one. I like the sweet and salty ones, but I bought them because they're cheap and they were slightly more quote unquote healthier, whatever the heck you want to say. That's bullshit. What does my shirt say? My shirt says, let's hug it out. Yeah, let's hug it out. Hug it out, hug it out, hug it out. Scorpion, get over here. Oh goodness, stop. The gaming references. I really love my Johnny Cage. This is awesome. Good stuff. All right, cool. We are caught up with the comments. I wanted to actually keep this closer to an hour. We are at an hour 17 minutes now, which is awesome. I appreciate all the engagement. I had a lot of fun chatting with all of you today, even though we started with exercise and we moved over to life, everything, video games, all this fun stuff. I hope you had a great conversation also and a good time hanging out with me today. Let's see, tomorrow's Monday. Hey, why not? Let's do a Facebook Live tomorrow. YouTube. Let's see, tomorrow. Let's see, I'm going to go with, let's see, so I've been doing them at 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. Today was 9 p.m. I'm going to go with, I don't know who's watching this from the East Coast, so I'm going to go with 8 p.m. so it's not super, super late for all of you. So 8 p.m. would mean 11 p.m. Eastern time. Or, people around the world, I feel like it'll just work out. So I'm going to stick with the 8 p.m. tomorrow. Yeah, so let me know what topic you might want to talk about tomorrow, and we could talk about it. Like, or otherwise I'll just come up with the topic and let you know. As soon as I figure out a topic, I will post it. Update. I'll post a YouTube live stream notification right after this call, and I'll just make it very generic, like live, Q&A and live chat. That's what I usually say at Monday, December 4th. 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, okay? So I will post that. Thank you for joining. Alrighty, here we go. Onathox, thanks, man. Peace. Have a good night. Have a good night to you, too. Keely, I only like the original characters from the first 3 series. The new characters aren't that great. LOL. I had no idea that they made new characters. One more, please. What? East Coast is 1 a.m. Oh, wait. 8, 9, 10, 11. No, it's 11. Oh, wait, it might, yeah, it's 11, or it's 1 a.m. right now. That's why we're doing it 1 hour earlier. So if you're on the East Coast, it's not so late. We're going to start at 11 as opposed to midnight for you. All right? All right, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Onathox, good to see you on for, since it's been such a long time. Chowder, lately I've been sort of getting sad out of nowhere. I've been feeling guilty for being sad because I have no real reason to be sad. Any advice to get over that? So first of all, I always feel like one thing that's really important to get over something is a little bit of awareness. Sometimes, honestly, there's like, let's say you take a freaking Zoloft or something like that and it'll make you happy. Sure, that could work. But I like self-awareness is really important. So understand, why are you feeling sad? I know you say it's out of nowhere, but usually there's a reason why you feel sad. And I feel like it's very important to learn how to pinpoint that exact reason. Do you feel sad because it's like, usually it's a lot of micro thoughts. It's a lot of beating yourself up, feeling sorry for yourself, feeling like, oh man, I could have done better here and this and everything. All these little pieces add together and it makes you feel sad. So I think in order to be happy or to get over that sadness, it's about one strategy is to start figuring out what are these tiny little things that are making you sad and accept them. Accept them like, hey, I did my best here or whatever. Or maybe, oh man, now I figured out what it is. I could have done better here, or I shouldn't have been a jerk to this person, or whatever it is. And then if you address that problem or whatever, say sorry or whatever it is, then that'll help you be a little bit happier. That's option number one. Number two is if you want to be happier, surround yourself with happy people. Like, I know that's not always easy, but do your best to find those groups of people that make you find those people that make you feel happy and positive. I have the luxury of having a lot of connections, and I have my group of friends. I have how do I say this? I have people I can reach out to that I know are going to be positive. So sometimes I get requests from people to be like, hey, Richard, do you want to hang out? And this hurts me a little bit. I hate saying no, but there are plenty of times where I've had to say no. And if it makes me feel bad, but I know it'd make me feel even worse if I hung out with certain people, because it would just drain me completely, because it's not what I want to do. So I don't know how to say this, like, be honest with yourself. And I've rejected hangouts with people that are really, really good people too, just because my energy was like, I don't feel like this is I don't feel like I need to be doing this right now. I need to be taking care of myself. So listen to your heart. If you're feeling sad, listen to your heart and, do what feels good to you. And again, if you're feeling sad, hold on, let me make sure. Chowder, perfect. So Chowder, Jake, you're talking about, playing games. When you cross that line, and you're playing games out of a habit, that's going to make you feel more sad. So break those habits. This takes time. Be patient with yourself. Accept yourself. Don't beat yourself up if you're not perfect and everything like that. One step at a time. But when you start taking on habits that are more positive, you are going to feel so much better about yourself. You will move from your sadness and start living a happier life. And I know I'm talking a shit ton right now, like overly, like too much information, but I hope, like, don't try to absorb everything I'm saying. What I want you to do is, if you're getting any value from this conversation, just pick one or two things, max. One or two things that you're learning from this conversation and carry that with you and move forward. Don't try to remember everything I'm saying. That's way too much information. You're going to get overwhelmed and you're not going to remember anything. Focus on one or two. I'm going to say one. Focus on one thing. What the biggest thing that you learned from this conversation, hold on to that and think about that a little bit more and move forward with it. So yeah, that's what I have. I got to learn to be a better teacher. That's a skill too, because I'm just spewing out everything that I know, which is cool, but it's also not the most efficient way to do everything. Alrighty, we are almost wrapped up. Let be last, mate. Okay, that will make me happy again. What's my plan tomorrow? Tomorrow is Monday for me. My plan tomorrow. I haven't scheduled what my day is going to look like tomorrow, but essentially tomorrow is all about planning my life. Like, I just got back from Taiwan, and I have this awesome support. The girl I'm dating, Christine, you're amazing if you're still watching this. Like, she watched the whole entire live stream yesterday, which was like an hour 15 minutes, and then she like secretly hopped on here, but she just messaged me that she was on watching. But so she's like we're both kind of supporting each other to work towards our life visions, our own individual life visions, which is super cool. So I'm going to be doing a lot of planning, a lot of brainstorming. What is my vision for my life? Where do I want to take my life? and what do I want to accomplish in the next 3 months. That's kind of the time frame that we both created. So again, what tomorrow's goal for me is get very clear. What are my commitments? What are my goals? Health, relationships, finances, leisure, personal, community, and that was 6. Yeah. So those 6 areas: health, relationships, leisure, community, finances, and the other one I forgot. So I'm going to think about 3-month goals in 6 different categories of my life. And then I'm just going to freaking tackle it. And I'm going to own up to it. I'm going to push myself. And I'll share with you my journey throughout the next 3 months. And it's, we're just going to crush it. Like, we're going to have fun. And this is not just about me. This is about you too. So if you're on here right now, I don't want you to just be inspired. I want you to understand that that you're a part of this, that you also get to step up in your life as well. I invite you to make a commitment for yourself in the next 3 months. What do you want to accomplish? I invite you to start looking at your vision. So that's what I have. And some people take action, some people won't. All up to you. All right, cool. That is the last question for tonight. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for hopping on. It looks like people already said good night and hopped off. Yep, so that's what I have. All right, you all rock. Have a good night, everyone. Take care. Good night, good night. Just Being, Keely, and Chowderp, anyone else who's on. All right, bye.